Hello friends and welcome to this new session. In this session we are going to install a WordPress. So I am going to show a complete step of installations of WordPress on EC2 instance, and we are going to pick a instance of Ubuntu. Okay, so this is my AWS console and we don't have any running instance. Okay, so I'm going to create one instance. You can name it as a web server or the WordPress. Okay, and OS name, I'm selecting the Ubuntu machine. Okay, I'm doing it in the free tier reliability and T2 micro. Okay, so nothing to change here. And the key pair, I'm going to select the existing one. Okay, if you don't have, you can create a one for that. Okay, no issues. And the security groups, better if you create a security group previously. So if you didn't create it, then you can create from here itself. Okay, so it will give a name of launch wizard 4. Okay, I'm allowing the SSH from anywhere. Okay, and HTTPS also and HTTP also. If you have a security group with all this configuration, you can use it, but better to have a separate security group attached with the instance. Okay, for the storage, I'm changing it to 20 GB. Okay, so watch this video till end, otherwise you're not going to understand it. So watch this video till end, because I am going to perform it in a very simplest way, so that you can start your WordPress setup for the blogging or any types of websites creations on the EC2 machine. In this session, we are going to install the Apache, MySQL, PHP. So you can say the LAMP server I'm going to set up, and where we are going to install the WordPress. Okay, so you can see all these things step by step in a proper way in this video. So this is my motto. Okay, so for the advanced details, you don't have to change anything. That's it. Launch the instance. So it will launch an instance. The security group part is very important because it gives me access to that particular port also from the outside world, and I can able to access it. So the instance get created. You can go to the running instance, and here you have to refresh it. You can find that the instance is currently running. So this is the instance I just created. Just copy the public IP. Okay, now I have to SSH and the key. I am currently in the same path where I have the same key. Okay, so you can use the git pass command or command prompt also. I'm using the MOBA extra. So here I have to change the mode. Okay, 400 and the DevOps. Okay, and then I am going to SSH Ubuntu at the rate IP of the machine. Just I just copied it, the public IP. Okay, and the I dash I and the name of the PEM file, DevOps cb.pem. So it will allow me to just log in into that machines so that I can do a proper installation. Okay, so I'm inside this machine. Okay, now I'm changing it for the root account. So you can see from the Ubuntu user, I am logging with the root user. Okay, so now I have to execute a few of the commands for the update of that particular machine and also upgrade. So I'm going to run apt. I'm not going to write sudo because I already log in with the root command. So you can avoid writing the sudo apt. You don't need to write sudo apt, just write apt. Okay, update and pass the confirmation flag, so it will not ask you. Okay, so it will going to update the machine with all the latest binaries. After that, we will do the upgrade also. So it's depend upon your connections, how fast your connection is, internet connections. Apt upgrade again -5. Okay, so it will upgrade all the binaries with the latest one. Okay, so now we upgraded also and updated the machine also. Okay, so after that we have to set up the LAMP server. LAMP means it's a stand for the Linux, Apache, MySQL and PHP that need to install the stack of these tools. Okay, so to run the WordPress, because WordPress works on the PHP, and it's also required the DB connections. For that, I am using the MySQL, and we will create a database also, create the user also, give the grant to that user to a database also, and all these things we are going to configure in the for the WordPress also. So you can find this session very useful if you want to install the WordPress on the EC2 machine. Okay, so once it's completed, I will go step by step. First, I will install the Apache, then MySQL, and then PHP. Okay, so we are going to set up the web server in the Linux, so you can just understand in this way. So if this error comes, then you just press the OK, and it will get removed. Okay, so once it appears, because it's required the reboot, and I am currently not going to reboot the machine. Okay, so let me complete the installations. So first we need to install the Apache. For that, I'm going to run apt install Apache 2 with the confirmation flag. Okay. Okay, fine. Though now I have to check the status of the Apache, either it's running or not, because this is the service, this is the web server, you can say. The service is running, the web server is up. Okay, so system ctl the status of Apache 2. So you can find it's currently active. You can find it here. It's currently running. If the service is not running, then you can execute the same command with the start. Okay, so you just need to write the start here, so it will start it. Okay, so in my case it's running, so I don't have to do anything for that. Okay, so one more thing, now I have to browse the public IP, because I set up the web server, and if you find any types of problem while accessing the public IP, then you need to check all these things like security groups. You added the STTP or STTPS into that particular security group or not, or if the service is not responding, just restart the service, just stop the service and then restart it. So this is my public IP. I'm just going to copy it. If all things goes well, then it will give a page. Okay, the Ubuntu Apache 2. So as per this point, you can understand that all the things are going successfully. So if you have any problem here, then you can go to the security, and here the security groups, and check all these things like the STTP, because by default I am accessing 80 port. So you added this or not. If you didn't added it, then go and edit your inbound rules and add the STTP. Okay, so you can move accordingly. So if you don't have the access of this page, then you can understand that something is wrong, and you have to identify it. Either you can start the services, check the services, Apache services is running or not. If it's not running, then please run it with this command, systemctl start Apache 2. Or if you are fine at this point, then it's good. Now I'm going to enable it. Why we are going to enable this service? Because sometimes the system restarted or we started it manually, the EC2 machine. At that time, this service will get stopped. But when we enable it, it will automatically get started. So we don't have to bother about it. So how to enable this service? It's simple. System ctl enable and the name of the server. So now the system is enabled. So for whatever the reason the server gets down, the machines get down, then server also gets down, and the machines boot up. That time the service will get started automatically. We don't have to do it manually. This is the features of the enable. Okay, now we installed the Apache. Now I will moving to the MySQL. For that we are going to install the MariaDB. The command will be what we need to install the server also and the client also. Server is for the database. Okay, let me write the command first. Install MariaDB. Okay, MariaDB and server. Okay, this is the database and the MariaDB client. Client is used to connect with the database. So both are required with the Y flag. Okay, so Maria server will create a database. Okay, and MariaDB is useful to just establish the connection with the database. This is a client. Okay, so after the installation of Apache, we are installing MySQL. Okay, so once MariaDB have the installations, we will start and check the status again. Okay, then after that we will do the configurations for the root password of the DB to secure our database. This is very important, and by default we have any sample database, we will just remove it, just clean up so that we have a single database object, so we don't have any confusions and we are don't have any sample database and tables. Okay, perfectly fine. So just start the service. Systemctl start MariaDB. Okay, so it will start, and you can check the status as well, whether it has started or not. So you can find it, it's active and running. Okay, okay, fine. Sudo su, I will logged out. Let me log it again. Okay, so now we have the installation of the MySQL. Now we need to set up the root password for the DB to secure our database. For that I am using the MySQL. Okay, secure installation. Okay, so it will ask you few questions and you have to give you the confirmations like current password for the root. You just click on here the enter. We don't have to put anything. Switch to the socket authentications. Just enter it. Change the root password. Yes, I have to change it. And what is the new password? I am providing the new password and you have to remember it. You can change it accordingly yours. Okay, remove anonymous user. Yes, definitely. I will create my own and give the grant. Disallow root login remotely. Definitely yes. Remove test database. Yes. Reload privilege for the tables. So in that case, you also have to pass the yes. And the MariaDB is installed successfully. Okay, now system ctl restart, so that all the changes get impacted. Okay, so we successfully configure our DB server, you can say. Now going to install the PHP because the we need to support the WordPress, and the WordPress is running on PHP. So for that, apt install, and we need to install the 5 packages to have a proper installation of the PHP for the WordPress. So apt install, we need to install the PHP. This is the one package. PHP MySQL for the connectivity with the MySQL, PHP GD and PHP CLI. Okay, and after that PHP common with Wi-Fi. Okay, so you have to install these 5 packages for the PHP. Okay, so PHP is currently installed, and now we need to download the WordPress. For that, I have to go to the Google, and here I have to type the download WordPress. The first link which appear, you just need to copy the link address. Okay, so just right click and copy link addresses, and we copied it, and after that we will wget. For before that, we have to install the 2 more packages to just use the wget functionality and the unzip. Okay, for that we are going to install the 2 more packages. I copy the link address. Now I am going to install the 2 packages. Apt install wget. Okay, because we are going to download the zip file from the web, and the unzip. Again, pass the confirmation flag. Okay, okay, so this is fine, and now we need to wget and just copy the link address. Okay, so this is the link address for the WordPress. So I started downloading the WordPress. So the LAMP setup is already done, and now it's time to install the WordPress. Okay, so you can check here the latest .zip file is downloaded. Now I need to unzip it. So unzip latest ls. So you can find this WordPress folder here. So now I have to move all the content of the WordPress to the root of the Apache of the web server. So the Apache server is browsing some particular path from where it's rendering the pages. So I have to move the content of this WordPress. So let me show you the WordPress content. So these are the content, and all the content I have to move to the particular locations. Okay, so ls, we are currently into the root, and inside the root we have the WordPress. So what I am going to do, I am going to copy. Okay, and what we are going to copy, all the content of the WordPress inside this folder. Okay, to var html. Okay, so all the content of this particular folder, the WordPress, now move into the var html. Okay, so if I go to that particular locations, let me go to cd var html. Okay, now ls minus l, you can see all the permissions is for the root user. Okay, so now we need to change the ownership of this file. Okay, so Apache server is run by www data user, so we have to give the change the ownership to the www data user, so that we can access the pages without any problem. So I am going to change the ownership chon. Okay, chon www the colon and www data recursively where HTML. Okay, now ls minus l. So you can see previously we have the root accept permissions for all those files, and now we change the permissions. Okay, so this is perfectly fine. Now the permissions has been changed. Now I'm going to browse the IP, uh, but there is one problem. Let me show you ls minus la. The problem is that this is the index.html file of the Apache server. So when I again browse this page, let me refresh it, you will see no changes. Okay, why this happened? Because we still have the index.html page which is rendering here. So what we have to do, we have to just remove it. So rm minus rf index.html. So this file is currently removed, so you can see that the HTML is now gone. So now when we refresh this page, you will see some different screen. Okay, so now the WordPress start doing the installations. At this point you have to continue with your languages selection. So I am preferring the English United States. Now continue. So here it's giving you all the informations regarding the WordPress before installing all these things. So you have to provide all those things, right? Because WordPress must have the connectivity with the MySQL. That's why we installed it. And so you have to provide all the informations like which database name you are using. You can change the database accordingly as per your convenience, as per your need, the username also, the password also. So I will click on the let's go, and here it's asking what is your database name, and I didn't create it yet. So for before proceeding for this particular screen, I will create a database, a user, a password, all these things. Now I'm going to the MySQL, need to log in with to that particular database and establish the DB connections. Okay, so MySQL user with admin root and the password that I previously set. So I'm connected with the MariaDB. Okay, so now I'm going to create a database. So you can create any database as per your requirement. So this is the for the demo. So I'm making it very simple. So create database WordPress. Okay, so this will create a WordPress database inside my SQL. Okay, so now I will create a user. So create user. The name of the user, you can say the WordPress WP, the short form, and I'm just putting it as admin. You can put anything here. Okay, identified as, sorry, identified by, without any space, identified by, and here you have to provide the password WP, again for the WordPress admin pass or admin password. You can put any password here as per your need. Okay, So it will create a user with this particular password that we are going to use it for the configuration of the WordPress. Okay, so now I have to provide the access to this user to the DB objects. Okay, so that for that I have to provide the privileges. Okay, so grant all privileges, okay, on all the objects of this particular database. Okay, so what is the name of the database? WordPress. Okay, and dot, because I have to use all the objects of this particular database, and I'm going to give the privileges to the name of the user we just created, WP admin. Okay, as simple as that. So it will give all the privileges. Okay, so accordingly I have to give these informations to the WordPress as well. Here the database is the WordPress. Okay, so I make it simple, whatever the here it's prompting, but you can change accordingly. The username I am providing WP admin. Okay, the password is again the WP admin pass. And for the database host, it's inside the local host, and the table prefix, you don't have to do anything. It will create it accordingly. So just submit it. Run the installation. Now you have to provide some title here. Like in my case, I am providing the title of Java with you, and the username that you need to log in for the admin console, where we do the control related things. Okay, the password I am providing is the weak password. Okay, this is for the demo only. You can put any strong password. Okay, okay, so till this point, if you going smoothly, it means that the setup is perfectly fine for you as well. Now I am providing here the username, it's admin, and the password is password. Okay, so I'm going to log in it, and this is your WordPress admin panel. Okay, so we performed a step by step in a very descriptive way for the installation of WordPress on Ubuntu machine, and from here you can see your site. This is the sample page, and you can do the modifications accordingly by going to the dashboard. You can apply the themes also, plugin also. In the appearance you can find the themes. There are lots of themes. You can use this for the blogging or your website creation or e-commerce, whatever is your requirement. So you can see that we successfully able to install the WordPress. So that's it for this session. So I just prefer to make the things the simplest at my end. If you guys like this my effort, then please subscribe to my channel. If you didn't subscribe it, share it with your friends. Give me a like, and I don't have any expectations that how much till I like I will get, but you guys always encourage me to just give a good session on different subject, and I keep motivating for those comments that you put under the videos that I uploaded. So thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day. Bye. Take care.